It's a little bit chilly this morning and the heron kind of flew from there to just there, so right now it's a bit further away, but I'm gonna just kind of chill a little bit and see how it does. If it does a flyby, then that's the funny thing about photography. It's almost comical sometimes. Like, you get up early and I got ready and within a split second, like the heron moved elsewhere, and right now I can't see it anymore. I think it's somewhere further over there, but it's like really not ideal conditions to photograph. When it was closer, it was much more possible to get a good shot, and now it's doesn't seem the case. First few days here in the park was like really hot days, and now it's gotten really cold. And yeah, I didn't have the best sleep last night, but it was worth it, you know. Just that light over there is so nice coming in across the marsh, and the water is really further revealing. So there's a couple of ducks swimming around in front of me. I'm just waiting to see if I can spot the heron again, but it seems to have moved on to another spot, and it was my bad when I kind of walked over to the shore here. It wasn't really a quiet arrival, and I spooked the heron and flew further to the left. And if had I known that they're here, I would have been more careful. That like 2 sunsets, 2 sunrises, and then quickly realized that the tide is changing, and I couldn't find more seals to practice. But right now, after spending a day kind of location scouting and checking what else there is to photograph, I realized today too, this morning, that there's a lot more wildlife here. You know, you got the herons, you got the ducks, you got the deer. So definitely, like, there's much more to photograph, and there's also the landscape itself is interesting. Yeah, so definitely, like, I'm happy that I don't have a set plan, that I can just leave here when I feel like I'm good and ready. And I'm gonna spend a couple more days here photographing whatever I could find. And yeah, this morning was another morning. I would call it a morning of discovery, because day by day it's different, and I've come to learn that photographing different animals also, each animal has a unique set of challenges, and you learn a little bit about how to photograph them. Always kind of scanning the scene to see if that heron gets back, but I don't really see it anymore. Oh well. I think there's definitely a missed opportunity here, but you know what, I'm here for a couple more days, and I think I'm gonna come back here also tomorrow morning, knowing now a little bit what to expect and be more ready for it. Well, let me get on with it. I'll see you guys in a little bit, depending on what happens during the day. Peace. Well, guys, all settled in the back of the Jeep, and actually it's so cozy in here, you know. All you need is like a good mattress and you're good. So I think I'm gonna call it an early night sleep, because I got a 5 a.m. wake up call. Morning, guys. So it's 5 in the morning. Gotta change my clothes quick and jump in the front seat and go for a drive to get to the park and see what I could find. Yeah, good night's sleep overall. I always kind of struggle between turning off the alarm, just going back to bed, and actually like sleeping. But yeah, I think I'm good. Let's go find something to take pictures of. Alright, guys, time to shut off the camera because I gotta change. See ya. My windows get so fucked up sleeping in the car. So I got my camera with my lens ready to go. Well, at first glance I don't spot any herons, that's for sure, but they could be on the further side. But I do find there's a few ducks just over there by the orange kind of grassy area where the marsh is. I might just walk on the beach a little bit and try to get closer to them. At least photograph those, so what I can see right now. Anything materializes, then I'll take some more shots. They all seem to be concentrated over there, so I'm gonna try to move a bit closer without spooking them, hopefully, and try to get closer to my subject. Yeah, it's not easy, not easy at all. So upon observing a little bit and try to photograph the ducks a bit in flight without any success at all, because they're like way too far out. They look really small in frame, but just over there among the big group of ducks that are kind of over the water by the marshland, there's two herons perched on rocks right next to each other. They're too far to get a decent shot, but yeah, I'm gonna observe a little bit further and see what they do. If they go for a flight, I'll be ready for them. Yeah, frustrating though, because I really would have loved to have them here among the marshes and photograph them closer. Well, so far nothing worthy sort of happening. The two herons are still over there, one on a rock, one just behind the rock, and they seem to be just static, not moving at all, like they've been in the same spot for half an hour, nothing. I'm just gonna hang out here and just observe and see if anything happens. I guess this is quickly becoming a video of how not to take a picture rather than how to take a picture. I think with wildlife, it's more common not to end up with a picture, well, a decent picture at least. It's all about like observing and learning, and I think I'm doing a fair bit of that today. But yeah, I mean, I would love to leave with some photos too as well, of course. I'm just gonna keep trying here. Hopefully get something. Oh shit. Shit, man. Amazing. Oh my god. After being patient all morning, and as you can tell from my reaction, that was the moment I discovered that the heron has flew over and perched itself on a rock right in front of me, and I was super excited to finally get some decent photographs. Oh man, this was really exciting. Now the tide is kind of retreating quicker, and I'm losing some of the water, and more than marshland is showing up. And when I shot this bird, when I first discovered it, the sunlight was just lighting up the bird really nicely, and there was a lot more water around it. Just flew off the rock. I try to be as quick as I can to get some shots. Hopefully one of them turned out. But man, it's like so stressful when that happens. Like you're like flustered. But I have one shot in there that I truly love. Oh man, I had no idea what to expect this morning. Like I knew I wanted to photograph this heron before I leave. And just to be able to do that, it's great. That was beautiful though. Unbelievable. That he just posed there for me. I think like once you get set on a spot, it's always a good idea to kind of stay in that one spot and watch the wildlife, how it circulates and acts around. If you try to move too much, I think it's counterintuitive. I think just find the spot, sit and observe and wait, and maybe the wildlife will come to you and they get more comfortable with you. Yeah, but this is what I realized, at least today, just by staying in this one spot for like the whole of the sunrise. I found that the ducks came a bit closer, there was much more activity, and the heron came over closer. Maybe that's just a coincidence, but yeah, it's definitely better than kind of running around everywhere thinking stuff will happen. Like if it's meant to happen, it'll happen if you get lucky. But man, I think I got a few shots of him, like really sharp shots of him, of the heron in flight. At least maybe one. I'm so happy, I'm so ecstatic. As you can tell here, I was really at a loss for words and I was getting quite emotional. I don't usually get quite emotional, but this did it for me. And yeah, I was ecstatic, but at the same time I was thinking, it's just a heron, get yourself together. I'm really starting to love this kind of wildlife photography. The more I do it, the more I want to do it some more. And the moment the heron flew, I was like frantic to try to get a shot. And the first, when it leaped off the rock, I wasn't ready. And then I just went to turn this way and I tracked it there. This is when I got the better shots. But if I hadn't got a shot of it flying towards me, it would have been much more pleasing. But yeah, I did get a nice shot of it when it's perched on the rock, and maybe one good shot when it's flying away. I think like the lesson here too from today is like you gotta have patience and remove any negative thoughts of not finding anything, because like it's easy to come into a place thinking, oh, I'm not gonna find it, it's gonna be too far away, and it was in the beginning. Then it flew closer. So yeah, like no negative thoughts, have patience, and get up and come, man. Like even if you want to sleep in and it's tempting to sleep in, come anyway and just observe. And if you don't get photos, you don't, but if you do, you're gonna be so much more happy, just like I am right now. Oh man, I'm getting emotional again. Oh well, this was a nice morning, can't beat it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so please leave me a comment and stay tuned for more videos to come from this trip. And if you're new to the channel, to subscribe.